This video was recommended to me in my Cami Reacts. This one is how it's actually made. Swiss cheese, hammers, roller skate, colored pencils by Huggbees. Huggbees was recommended a few times. I've never watched anything by Huggbees, so let's see if we dislike or like this creator. Air Up.
This episode is brought to you by Air Up. The Swiss call this cheese fromage d'alpage, which means cheese from the high mountain pastures.
I love how he straight into French. He's like, the Swiss call it, proceeds to call it French word. It's like, sorry, but the Swiss speak German? I would know. I lived in Switzerland for 10 years.
Master cheesemakers retreat to their chalets high in the Swiss Alps to make this special cheese. These individuals follow a tradition of cheesemaking that goes back to the Middle Ages.
I do love Swiss cheese.
Swiss cheese is produced by cheesemakers who hike their...
I miss the Swiss Alps. I swear I've been to that exact area. I think I know that cow. Betsy, I haven't seen you in years.
drippy udders for about 7 minutes.
What? Why did you say it like that?
Patting...
Why did he say it like that? Why did he say dripping udders?
The cow's hindquarters increases its arousal during the process.
What? What?
Which results in milk with a higher fat content. Meanwhile, in the room with 2 giant saucepans, previously harvested milk has its fat skimmed from the top, which is put in a slop bucket. Meanwhile, in Uncle Gary's rustic...
I don't know what we're watching, Rocket. Somebody recommended this. I hope it's okay. It had no adult warning, so it should be fine.
Cabin that he bought to finally get away from his stupid fat wife, Uncle Gary adds live bacteria to the milk to help preserve it, and roasts it in a cauldron over an open flame. While roasting, the milk's dust is removed with a dustpan, and an enzyme called renin is...
We're watching how cheese is being made, particularly Swiss cheese on a Swiss Alp. But not just that, this guy has his wrinkly old hands in my cheese.
Added while Uncle Gary enjoys swirling his arm in his new milky white bliss. After about 40
Uncle Gary? Why?
minutes, these active ingredients create a disgustingly goopy pile of slop.
You know what's interesting? This is exactly how tofu is made too, guys.
Known as cheese curd.
I know, as long as he washes his disgusting little fingies, it's fine. It's not any more sanitary than gloves, but it's just like he's really feeling up the cheese, you know?
He then uses a wire broom to sweep up the cheese curd, which is something he probably should have done before using the dustpan. Oh, now he's got 2
I don't know this guy, Paws. I don't know. Swiss cheese is amazing. I love Swiss cheese.
dustpans. Well, off, Uncle Gary, you good-for-nothing showboater. A mysterious stranger enters from just off frame as Gary continues to absent-mindedly continue to mix the mixture, separating the curds and leaving behind the liquid called whey. Uncle Gary, you are so
The liquid they use to make protein powder so bodybuilders can get buff.
bad at sweeping, it's unreal. An electric mixer then does the whole job far better than any human ever
Why does this electric mixer look like it's from the 80s?
could. The cheesemaker then washes his arms and hands because any impurities in the cheese would ruin it. This
Exactly, we don't want that filthy human bacteria in there.
step seems meaningless because he was molesting the cheese with his bare arms earlier, but it's not my job to commentate, only to narrate. One of the best perks of working at the cheese factory is you get to do this, which is often described by cheesemakers as having a Swiss orgasm.
What is this video? What are we watching?
Using cheesecloth, Uncle Gary and the mysterious stranger experience a wholesome homosexual meet-cute by filtering out the curds. Unfortunately, both of them are straight, but that's not going to stop any of the ravenous Swiss cheese cinematic universe fanfiction writers all over the internet. The cheesemaker stuffs the sack of cloth into a mold, and presses it while screaming, become cheese, damn you.
Oh yeah, you have to press it just like tofu. And the longer you press it for, the firmer the cheese.
To remove the leftover whey. 3 molds can be placed into a wooden cheese press at the same time.
What's crazy about Switzerland, as somebody that grew up and lived there, everything's made out of wood. Like everything. Anything you think of is made out of wood there. The country's just made out of wood completely.
Fun cheese fact, this process was the inspiration for the Queen and David Bowie song, Crazy Train. After a long day of being pressed, the cheese is then tucked into bed so it can get enough rest to do it all again tomorrow.
Yes, pause. The humans are also made out of wood in Switzerland. It's just how it is. We're all a bunch of Pinocchios there.
Nighty-night cheese.
Good night, cheese. Sweet
If too much
wow.
liquid is left in the cheese, the Prime Minister of Switzerland has vowed that he will declare martial law for the entire country for the next year until the problem is corrected.
It's such just like a MacGyver-y setup. I love it. Oh my god, pause.
The next morning, the
I have a Pinocchio emote.
excess cheese created by the mold is cut off and thrown in the garbage.
Look how pretty.
According to Swiss cheese propaganda, this and every other part of the process is done by hand, even though we literally saw them using an electric mixer just 1 minute ago. I'm not making
Electric mixers just to save the poor little old man's joints.
this part up. After a saltwater bath, it's time for the cheese.
So the reason they put the saltwater bath is because when the water on the outside is salty, the mold can't grow. So the cheese can ferment without mold growing on the outside.
To be put on a cheese shelf, which acts as their form of government, similar to a caste system.
And they date them so they can know exactly when everything was put on the shelf. It's very fascinating.
Cheese on higher shelves have more rights, power, and authority than the cheeses on the lower shelves, just like God intended. Meanwhile, in the Hall of Loyal Cheeses, the Swiss president elects the prime candidate for one final top-secret mission to assess.
See, this is the cheese caves we were talking about earlier. And by earlier, I mean like 4 months ago.
Assassinate Director Mozzarella, ending their competition in the cheese market and ensuring Switzerland's complete dairy dominance.
Ah!
And
Look
now,
at that,
a
cheese
quick word from
slices.
our sponsor. This
Oh no, guys, sponsors. Ew.
episode is brought to you by Air Up. The Huggbees Educational Network would like to thank its
Oh my god, did you guys hear about the scam that is this brand? Did you hear about this Air Up scam?
sponsor for this episode, Air Up. Over the last century, the scientific community has discovered that some people all over the world like to drink water. The scientific term for these people is boring, lame, stinky losers.
So apparently they made this bottle where basically there's like a scented thing at the top. So when you drink water, you smell like peaches or whatever. And so it makes it taste like peaches. And apparently it didn't really work at all. It was like a complete scam because you had to buy different rings for the smell. And it never worked. Like it worked like maybe for a few people, but it didn't work for most people. And the thing is like just get flavored water. Just get drops. Just get electrolyte drops to put in your water. Like flavoring is not the devil. Just like, why do you have to smell it? It depends on the person. I've seen lots of reviews that say it doesn't work, and then other people says it works. Like it can work. I guess it depends on how strong your sense of smell is too, right? So it's not gonna work for everybody. But also it was like super expensive, like so expensive.
Because just drinking plain water is a very unexciting activity. In recent years, humans have tried many things to make drinking water more exciting, from using chemicals to make it taste different, to loading it with sugar and corn syrup to destroy your kidneys. And some
I hate when people, I hate this. You know banana is full of chemicals, guys? Did you know bananas are filled with chemicals? Did you know that? Did you know a banana is nothing but chemicals? I hate that. Like, just drink plain water. Yes, go destroy your kidneys. Like, what? Sugar is literally brain fuel. Brain fuel. Why are you saying it destroys your kidneys? Did you know humans are made out of chemicals? Oh my god, John. We have to go eradicate all humans because chemicals are bad. Ugh. I'm not faulting him. He's probably reading a script. It's not his fault. It's the script's fault, okay? Soda pop is not horrible for you. If you consume too much sugary sodas, yes, it can rot your teeth. Anything in high quantities is bad for you, okay? Yeah, this is part of the ad. Anything in high quantities is bad for you. But having a soda once in a while is not bad for you. Not at all. Exactly, pause. Not at all. Don't let freaking fear-mongering, freaking holistic nutritionalists that are not even certified in anything tell you can't have a soda once in a while, okay? Sugar is brain fuel. The dose makes the poison. Exactly, Rad. The dose makes the poison. I just hate this like constant fear-mongering to sell a product. You know what I mean? Like, oh my god, guys, did you hear about the toxins? The toxins in electrolyte drinks? Have you heard? Have you heard? Here, buy my scent. Buy my perfume that you put on top of your water so you can taste flavor.
Some people have even tried adding carbonation to their water like an absolute barbarian. But now, there's a new way to experience the joy of drinking water.
The joy of drinking water! Whoa!
Introducing Air Up, the world's first hydration system that flavors plain water through scent.
Through scent? It's such a scam!
Utilizing the proprietary Air Up system is simple. First,
nothing's wrong with wanting to cut down soda and consume more water. Nothing's wrong with that. But don't villainize soda like it's this thing that's gonna murder you, but then also sell something alternative. Because like that's just, you're basically trying to villainize one so you can make money off of making people feel bad and guilty. Follow the money trail. Again, like it could possibly work because I've smelt things before and I feel like I could taste those things, but like it's not gonna work for everybody. I know so many people that can't smell at all. This is eating disorder type shit. That's what I'm saying, Damon. Just put flavor drops in your water. Like flavor drops are not gonna kill you.
Bottle ever made before, at least until we invent a water bottle that screams. Click the link in the description to get one of the limited edition bundles perfect for holiday gift giving and save up to 30%. Air Up, for when just smelling your water isn't enough.
Dude, I basically get sugar-free Gatorade Kool-Aid. It's hydrating, it's flavor blasting, and it's sugar-free. There's lots of chemicals you can put in your water to make it taste yummier. I'm out of hydration soda pop. I drank all my water. Wah, 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 wah. Okay, let's learn about how hammers are made. They're made for hammering.
The need to hammer things goes back to prehistoric times when...
Wait. Red, please try it and tell me what you think. Because I want to know. I need to know. Please. Please sacrifice yourself for the greater good. Sniff the chemicals with your nose. Inhale those chemicals instead of consuming them.
Early man used stones as tools. The modern hammer evolved.
Or that, right, Jester? Just put some strawberries straight into your water, and then you'll have strawberry water.
Evolved from those first crude implements. But with its forged steel design and user-friendly handle, the hammer of today is strikingly different.
You don't want that damn kidney-destroying sugar!
Before we begin, here is exclusive footage of a hammer hammering some nails.
Oh, wow. Look at it go.
Now here's a hammer pulling them out.
Oh,
a rare sight many of you viewers have probably never seen before.
Look how smooth.
It starts with a thick steel bar. An automated system loads it into an induction furnace, set at more than 1800 degrees Fahrenheit.
Ooh, thick
The fierce
bar.
heat makes the steel malleable.
The bar's so thick.
This forge hammer, replicating what I do to your mother, pounds the hot steel. into a series of hammer-shaped impressions.
This is basically like the meme of how does this get made. It's like a meme trolley version of it.
At this stage, we now have a glowing hammer, which is far too powerful for mortal man to wield.
Yeah, Thor's hammer.
As well as a dark anti-hammer. The shape goes into a shape press that presses the shape into a pressed shape.
Interesting. Shape is the pressing of the shape.
The hammers are cooled by being placed into an art piece called The Evolution of Hammers. You know what?
Tracks.
Never mind. Hammer making is stupid. So the factory has decided to throw out all...
You know what's surprising? Look at how many hammers. Why do we need so many hammers? Who needs so many hammers? Who keeps throwing away hammers?
of their hammers into an industrial grinder, destroying them once and for all. Just kidding. It's actually a tumbler filled with metal shavings to clean and polish the hammers.
Ooh, shiny
They then
hammers.
clamp the hammer in an automatic circumciser, polishing the hammer's head and making it easier to clean. One added benefit of this that isn't talked about often is that it also improves the speed of the hammer, allowing for more rapid thrusts.
More ergonomics, because it's smoother. There's less wind resistance when you're hammering.
Now, the milk from the previous segment about cheese is used to lubricate the hammer while ridges are...
That's where that's where the way went. The way
carved into the hammer's head. The grid surface deals an additional 5 points of bleed damage every second when striking an enemy.
We want that bleed damage.
Next,
Bleed is
the
important.
hammers are Terminators.
Bleed is OP.
And then quickly rescued before any of them create a time paradox. Then
They're
it's
so
off to
red.
a nice, safe, cooling dip. And oh my god! Oh Jesus! What the just happened?
Jeez Louise!
Now it's time for another polish. Sometimes, the polishing is so efficient, the hammers transform into leather rings. The leather rings are assembled in a tray, along with some plastic ones that are thrown in for style.
You know, there's so much in these factories that are automatic, and then there's always like just one person's job that is just like a very manual job, and it's just like putting these automatic punch things into a little thingy. It's so interesting. It's like they couldn't figure out how to do this automatic.
Style to create a suitable workplace dildo.
What?
The end of the hammer is inserted into the rings and oh, excuse me. That's actually a suitable workplace male masturbator. My mistake. The end of the hammer is secured in a clamp, and something else deviously sexual happens to it.
Oh no.
I mean, seriously, look at what's happening. You can feel the air getting warmer in that factory by the second. Using a series of Adam Sandler belts, they smooth the ends of the leather for a smooth finish. This is a tank of heavy lacquer, and this is the World Hammer Dunking Champion of 1997. Watch what happens
I didn't know factories were so sexy.
when the two meet.
Shiny!
Amazing. Anyway, when the lacquer dries, it'll give the hammer a tough, sleek finish.
You know, it's crazy. Every time I see a different type of hammer in the store, I'm just going to think about this video and about the sexy factory that had to make that hammer, that one type of hammer, because it seems like the factories only make one type of hammer.
For a different kind of handle, they pour liquid blue inside this robotic male masturbator, which will eventually trap a nearby horny robot, who will then be exploited to make a superior hammer handle in exchange for his freedom of his robot genitals. The next morning, the excess cheese created by the mold is grinded off and thrown in the garbage.
Why is this so sexual?
They stamp the model number onto the hammer. This is the 20th hammer ever built. Then it's on to the Hammer Ballet, where an interpretive dance version of The Evolution of Hammers is being
Look how
performed.
pretty it is.
It's exceedingly boring.
The music is so funny and generic. Ooh.
After they stamp the company logo onto the handle, the hammers are given an "I'm a Hammer" sticker.
I always find it really funny that those like the paint transfer things are always just, they look like boobs.
So customers can be sure of what they're buying. After all, there's some very confusing screwdrivers out there.
What? You guys know that brand at all?
When roller skates were invented by the Dutch in the 18th century, they put
So I have roller skates like these, but I can't roller skate. So I always wanted to learn, and I really do still want to learn, but I'm also like secretly terrified of it. Like absolutely terrified of it.
a whole new spin on skating. Before that, people could only skate on ice surfaces, so the sport had definite seasonal limitations. The wheels of the first roller skates were wooden spools, but today's manufacturers have come
I would like to go and get like proper lessons on how to roller skate.
up with some better tricks to make them.
Look how pretty they are. I have really cute ones
The
too.
first idea for roller skates came from the 1880s, when children would steal assembly line rollers from factories they worked in and glued them to the bottom of their shoes.
That doesn't sound right.
It starts with the shoes. A die press punches out leather patterns called quarters, 8 of them per shoe. They place the quarter under a die stamp, and the manufacturer's name is placed on the product well before they do any actual work.
Shoemaking is so fascinating.
Utilizing roller skate arithmetic, the dimensions of the perfect roller skate are calculated. This skate
I've seen people like make at-home shoes, and it's really cool.
has racing stripes stitched onto them,
Ooh,
which will make
fancy.
it about 20% faster.
Facts. If you put fire on that, it would even be
The
faster
outer lining
than
of the
that.
skate is sewn by hand, because despite our technological advances, we have yet to invent something called a sewing machine.
Dude, what do you think that is? That is a sewing machine. That is a sewing machine right there. That is a machine that sews. You mean you don't have a machine that sews using the, you don't have a sewing machine? Ooh, pretty.
She then sews the line again, except this time this little thing buzzes around. We don't know exactly what it does, but it's very annoying. Everyone knows unwanted vibrations are the absolute worst. This machine imagines the liner is its stepchild and punches holes in it. These holes are for the shoelaces, but can also hold your spaghetti noodles if you leave your spaghetti pouch at home. This machine places the shoe through a process called strogification.
Ooh!
Fortunately, most roller skates are immune to their neuropsych implants. Otherwise, intergalactic war would have started 18 years ago.
I wonder if you have to set the machine up for different sizes.
Another machine nails the rest of the shoe around the insole while a worker uses a mysterious, unknown tool to pound them in further.
A mysterious unknown tool that we totally didn't just watch a whole entire 5-minute segment on how it's made.
A multi-steroid injection is put into the shoe, making sure it's strong enough to support the 400-pound weight brought on by the average American. A UV light kills any surviving parasites. The outsole and insole are reunited after all this time, and a hydraulic press makes sure they can never get a divorce. This is just a safety precaution, as insole and outsole divorce has been outlawed in every state since the 1970s. The bottom of a roller skate usually has a decorative swirl of delicious icing. Go ahead and lick your roller skates at home to taste it for yourself. Let's make a sandwich at the roller skate factory. First comes some nails, then a delicious piece of roller bread,
Yummy!
and finally a roller skate shoe, complete with decorative bottom icing.
Fancy!
Be sure to cut the crust off with a circular cutter,
I wonder who had the idea to make shoes like this.
since most skaters are children or eccentric men in their early 60s. They screw a skate latizer into the shoe, drilling holes in it to add screw latizers into the frame. You know what? This one's pretty boring. Let's just move on.
He's just like, let's stop making shoes. This is boring.
Colored pencils come in basic color packages for school children, upgraded sets for architects and other professionals, and
Colored
elaborate
pencils!
collections of shades for the serious artist. It isn't so much the color variety that determines the quality, but the pigment concentration in the lead. This company produces colored pencils exclusively used for drawing Huggbees, the greatest content creator in the entire world.
What? I don't know who this person is.
The lead composition of these pencils is special. When you paint over them with water, they smudge around a little bit and look like absolute shit.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
White, yellow, orange, red, stink, Movember, bloop,
How dare you call pink stinky?
Pertangle, racist green, mystery color, and even red again are available as colors for pencils. Each color also comes in a version suitable for use as dog food, to give your pet delightfully colored poop to decorate your lawn.
Don't feed your dogs color, please.
The entire process starts by boiling water, because 99% of all the planet's industry is made to boil water.
Pink
More
is
water
not
is
stinky.
added to ensure the water stays wet enough.
Wait
Powdered
until it
Swiss
gets
cheese
liquid.
is also sprinkled on top for flavor.
More Swiss cheese.
The colored pencil dough is mixed until it turns green. No matter what color is being made, the mixture always turns green for some unexplainable reason.
Almost
Meanwhile,
like
at the
they're
packing
making
peanut
green?
factory, production is going along smoothly. These processed chunks might be used to
This doesn't look real. The green is so green.
intensify color, or they could be used by Army medical officers to plug up bullet holes on the battlefield. We'll let you, the viewing audience, decide which one is true. The green stuff is squeezed into a rope which employees will use to swing over to the next factory where the pencils are made. Using a very long and thin hammer with numbers written on it, workers measure the strands of green that have just been cut for uniformity. Then it's off to the
But why is it not green anymore? How did the color change? I have so many questions.
wax bath for hardening. A single group of wax-coated pencils is not a threat and can be... Oh god. Oh god, no.
So many.
I am not trained for this. I am not trained for... Run! Everyone run! It's happening! Run! Run for your lives! Now it's time to play everyone's favorite instrument, the pencil accord.
Miku.
Pencils found guilty of wanting to be pens are immediately executed.
Murder.
These pencils are the oracles and are drawing how the universe will end.
Oh my god.
This company
I think those are tested to see how long they last.
makes its pencil bodies from wood as opposed to obsidian, because that would be fucking stupid. The grooves of the wood are filled with glue by this
I like my pencils made out of human flesh, actually.
industrial-style roller skate. Then, the Omega 1000 Giga Crusher fills the wood with the leads.
Oh. How?
Another piece of wood covers the lead, even though it doesn't really want to. Stress from the upcoming entrance exams press a hexagonal shape into the wood before they're sliced apart by the Slice Hexagonal Wood Shapes Apart machine.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. That name is super accurate.
One at a time, the pencils shoot through a vat of green? Again?
More
How does this
green!
keep happening?
Goopy.
Once everything dries, the company burns their logo onto the wood because they can't help but get their capitalistic hands on everything produced by Mother Nature. This brand
Oh my god, guys, it's Swiss made. It was made with the cheese from Switzerland.
Politely sharpens their pencils before sale. This
Ooh.
incredibly advanced pencil
The pencil sharpener is so satisfying.
sharpener only cost the company a reasonable $37 million. I'm not even going to begin to describe what's happening to the pencils here.
They're gooping it. Satisfying.
And finally, a worker with fabulous nails slides the pencils into their tray, making them ready for store shelves.
Gorgeous.
Did you check your phone just now? See?
No.
I told you unwanted vibrations are the absolute worst.
Oh my god, guys. I had these pencils growing up. I had this exact pencil case from this brand in Switzerland. When I was a child, I used this. I had this exact one. It was very expensive too. Look how fancy.
Oh, and
Look how fancy.
go watch my gaming channel. It's
Apparently he also has a gaming channel. Cool. I wonder what he does. Probably plays video games. I don't know.